Okay,
Crazy.
cool. Awesome. What is up,
Welcome, all you got.
everybody? I hope everybody can hear me. Yeah, so this is blockchain. So full transparency, I didn't actually create this presentation. So I'm going to do my best to go through it. And thank you everybody for showing up. A ton of familiar faces here, so that's awesome. Yeah, so I am Quan, Danny Quan. I've got tons of different nicknames, but my IRL name is Dan Pittman, and I am the creator and founder of Hashkings, the Hive game that has been actually quite the success. I'm really happy about. So I guess I'll start with maybe just let me get through this slide. So that's me. Um, yeah, let me start with a little background on the game. So I dreamt this up in 2017, which seems like ages ago, especially in blockchain. It seems like a million years. So, yeah, me and my friends, coincidentally enough, were sitting around smoking weed, and I had just been working on a different project called DAP Caps, which I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with, but it's on the Ethereum blockchain and the Ethereum Classic blockchain. It was actually the first ERC 721 non-fungible token on the Ethereum Classic blockchain. But yeah, we were sitting around kind of talking about that, and I was like, you know what? Let's start a weed game. And everybody's like, "Oh, how's that going to work?" I said, well, you get a seed, that's an NFT. You get a piece of property, that's an NFT. You plant those and you grow some weed. And so then I was really heavy into Ethereum at the time, and was like, okay, cool. Well, so I'll launch a smart contract, ERC 721 with just the land available at the time. So actually right now on OpenSea, you can still get the land. It's just a collectible. If you purchase it, it's not going to do anything for you in the game right now. So people have actually been buying it, which is kind of awesome. I think just kind of for historical purposes, but yeah, so we did that, and or I did that, and had the NFTs up there, and started kind of designing the game and kind of the mechanics and everything surrounding it. But the biggest challenge that I found on Ethereum was kind of building a community and really getting like a following and some good community surrounding Hashkings. I was on Discord one day. I did have some connections, so my server had about 500 people in it, and John Udier from Can Curate popped in. I don't know how he found me, but he did somehow, and we started chatting, and he told me about Steam. It was Steam at the time still. So I was like, okay, well, this is cool. I remember, trading Steam on Bittrex, and I've heard of it, and it's like a social media thing, but how is this going to help Hashkings? Well, he started talking about the community, you guys, and everybody else, and it just blew me away. The fact that there were actually real people, passionate people in the community that are ready and willing to support, blockchain games or any kind of project, such as ActiveFit that we just saw, which is amazing. I really need to get on that because I am a couch potato. Um, but yeah, so John invited me over to his server, and I saw that there was a huge community over there, and he talked me into building the game on Steam. And I said, okay, I'll do it. I can see that there's a lot of value here. However, how do I do that? I did not know anything about the chain itself, or how to use RPCs, or anything like that. And in fact, at the time, there weren't even any NFTs yet. So I enlisted a famous Hive person called Disregard Fiat, which I'm sure you guys all know. And he was kind enough to write the back end for Hashkings and start getting it going. I was developing the front end for it. It was super basic. I was just learning how to write React. So I it was ugly. It really was. But the functionality was there. And Disregard Fiat said, well, hey, why don't you launch this on our VR platform? So we did a little demo on the VR. set up a little building where you could go in and you could click a couple of buttons, and I started, you know, playing around with the world. But of course, VR at the time was still, I mean, this was in 2018, I believe, or 2018. VR was still pretty basic, and most people didn't have a headset, which even to this day, and most of you seem like you're not in a headset. Oh, there's my homie Abstracts. What's up? Thanks. Sorry, just as an aside. So I was like, okay, well, maybe pause this, push the brakes a little bit. Let's launch this, just in a basic 2D format. So my React skills started getting better. I launched a pretty neat interface. You could look at your posts. You could, plant your seeds. You could do all these different mechanisms, non-NFT at the time, though, still. And then, of course, this whole stupid hostile takeover thing happened, and it there was just tons of drama, and I actually threw in the towel for a minute. I was like, okay, I can't deal with this. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to put a pause on Hashkings altogether. So I think it was, yeah, it was in a whatever it was. I shut it down over the summer. And then last year, let's see, yeah, last year, I think in like August or September, um, I said, okay, the dust has kind of settled. Hive is becoming its own thing. They're ridding themselves of the evil steam, and let's go for it again. So I spun it back up, started building community again, and then HiveFest happened. So I presented HiveFest at HiveFest last year as well. Thank you, Roland, for that. And I presented Hashkings to everybody again. One person, Luke, hit me up after the presentation and said, "Hey, I've got a community. I've got some connections to graphics designers, and I've got some connections to developers. Do you want to partner up?" I said, well, what do I have to lose? Whatever. 19-year-old kid, whatever. He's got his whole world in front of him. I'm 40. Let's do this. So we put our heads together, started changing everything up, started incorporating the NFTs, fungible tokens on Hive Engine, and really started to build a really neat game. So let's see. So that's kind of some of the graphics. So our first set of NFTs were our land plots, 6 different regions across the world, as we had previously. Our designer made up these really awesome NFTs for us, and I started to get excited. Here's the seeds that we have. So each of the seeds corresponds to each of the specific regions. So if you look back, for instance, let's see here, this Central America one, here's the corresponding one to that in the middle there. And I guess you probably can't see me pointing. I should have got a laser pointer. But you can tell the Asia one there on the top right-hand side corresponds with these ones on your left. Okay, so then these are the 2 non-fungible tokens that we had currently. And well, in order to grow plants, you need water. So we came up with another non-fungible token called a water tower. Level 1 is actually just a water pail, but we kept the name all the way up to level 10, depending on which level you have of water tower, of course, decides how much water you get. Let's see here. So one of the things I want to say. Okay, so the water is really interesting. So these are just the land, those are just standard NFTs. Um, the water actually creates fungible tokens. So water towers, every day they mint fungible tokens, which are the water itself that you use to water your plants. The other interesting thing are these buds here. So if you take a piece of property, which is a non-fungible token, a seed, which is a non-fungible token, fungible token from your non-fungible token that was a water tower, you can actually grow buds, which are also fungible tokens. So there's kind of this cycle of using non-fungible and fungible tokens, mixing them all together, spitting out different things. So the buds are what are created when you actually harvest your plants. So on your right over here, that's a fully matured cannabis plant. You harvest that and you get some buds. So once you have your buds, you have you're like, okay, what could I do with this? So there's a couple of really cool things that you can do with them. Of course, it's a game, so you want to go up in level. You want to earn XP. The way you earn XP in a weed game is you smoke weed. So you use buds to roll these different types of joints. Here's a couple of examples: a scorpion joint and a triple braid joint. We've got cross joints, we've got blunts and hemp wrap joints and all the whole gamut of it. I'll keep going. So, okay, the Mota staking. All right, so this is one of the other interesting mechanics that we've created. Once you have your buds, you don't have to just smoke joints with it. You can actually use these to create or to ice via staking create our Mota in-game currency. The in-game currency, of course, can be used to buy seeds and land and all that good stuff. Everything's sold out as far as the game is concerned. So plug my home is at NFT Mart. If you go there, you can use the Mota and purchase yourself some of these assets that we have. So again, using buds, you stake them and you earn Mota. Let's see here. Stake, unstake. So okay, so this is just one of the interface for that. Um, each I think actually now we've just changed it. So sorry. We just changed it so you can actually stake within a certain region too. So it used to be up until just like a month ago, it used to be that you would stake your tokens and then you would just earn any random seed, but now you can actually stake them within a region and get those specific ones. It turned out to be a little bit better that way. Some folks had, let's say, a Mexico plot they were staking, and all they were earning was Afghanistan seeds, which is good because they can sell them. However, people actually want to play and not pay for their seeds. So we've done it to where now you can stake an individual. Let me see this next slide here. Ooh, something that I've been really excited about for a long time is, or we've got several new features here. But my favorite one is renting of farms. Now we've got a bunch of people who we call land barons. Okay, they got in during the pre-sale. They just went nuts and started buying a bunch of stuff. And I think I just got a thing saying that I'm starting to run out of time. I have to actually get to a meeting in about 15 minutes. So we'll speed this up. You can rent out your farm. So if you, let's say, have 50 plots, well, it takes a long time for you to plant all those seeds, to care for that. People were spending hours a day just caring for their giant farms that they had, and they needed a solution. So we came up with the farm rental. So now new players that come into the game, all the land's sold out, well, they can rent a farm. Another thing that we have are these kind of special seeds. That's the Shaggy's dream right there, reminiscent of Snoop's dream, of course. And we have this thing called raids. So raids is brand new, where you're actually fighting bosses. It's something that my business partner came up with. If he was here, he could probably explain that a little better. So I'm going to just kind of skip over that.
Decentralized.
Yeah, so we also have MultiChain Bridges. We figured the best way to expand, of course, is we're not blockchain maximalists. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, I only stick to Ethereum, or I only stick to Hive, or I only stick to this. We're not like that. We like to just embrace the technology as a whole. We know that there's communities on all different chains. So far we have our tokens on Polygon, and we've got our tokens on Phantom. We've got them on Hive, of course, and we'll be expanding more and more as time goes by. Here again is a quick overview of the rentals. This is what the the interface looks like, so you can see. You might be able to see a little better than me. Folks are renting out water towers in this page specifically. You've got the terms, so these are all 1 month rentals. And then you've got the levels here. So these are all just kind of the same. I think maybe this is a demo picture. But yeah, you just go in there and you rent yourself some plots. So really, that is Hashkings as quickly as I could possibly explain it to you guys. I do recommend you guys join our Discord. You can find it fairly easily just by going to PeakD or Hive Blog and searching Hashkings. You'll find us and you'll see our Discord. Today I am not going to be taking questions, so if you do want to have questions, I'll be hanging out around the venue today and tomorrow. Feel free to come up to me, send me a friend request. I'm more than happy to talk your ear off about this. So yeah, thank you very much for listening.
Thanks a lot, Danny. And I must say, the graphics look really awesome, man. Super cool artworks. Who was doing that?
Thank you. Yeah, there it's a friend uh Luke's that lives in South America. We really lucked out. We really lucked out. This
Ah,
guy is amazing. He does an amazing
yeah,
job. Yep.
it's super cool.